Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to the exciting installment of Darkness in Dublin. Sometimes you nearly swear that the rain existed just to wash the sin away. The pavements and the streets, the shops, the restaurants, the police stations, and the town halls. All of them have been streaked with so many tears, washed in so much blood. Maybe the rain exists just to make it clean again. You walk down the road, you wrap your overcoat, your rain slicker, whatever it is you wear, tighter around yourself as another whistling breath of wind cuts through you, stifling a shiver. You'd have thought that when you discovered you were a master of the cosmos, a divine servant, whatever the hell you want to call it, that well, you could do such basic things as make sure it never rained on you again. But unfortunately, apparently that is hubris and an unfit use of your powers, in great inverted commas. As you make your way down the road towards your home or towards whatever it is you had intended to do today, you will come upon a bus stop on your route. This is where you could get the 507 and take you straight into town if you wanted to go. And as you walk past, you will turn your head ever so slightly to the side, and you will see this individual. He is seated at the bus stop, sans the staff, obviously. And as you walk past him, he'll look up and he'll say, "Excuse me, I don't suppose you have a light, do you?" He says he
Oh,
removes a golden cigarette case from the inside of his coat.
yeah. Abe will tuck his head and kind of duck into the bus stop, and he'll fish in his pockets for a second and pull out a Zippo silver.
Hmm.
Here you go.
Many thanks. The figure flicks open the lighter. On the third attempt, it lights. After all, it's really damp. He will. Excuse me. He will proceed to light the cigarette before he'll take a very deep, long draw in. He allows the smoke to linger in his lungs for a full count of three before he lets it exhale through his nostrils. Looking up at you, he'll say, "If you don't mind my saying so, you're not exactly what I expected."
He'll take back the lighter and he'll sit down next to this gentleman. Uh, he believes in like fate and coincidence, and the good Lord puts people in your life for various reasons. So I'm gonna say, you don't say. What were you expecting?
I tell you what, he holds up his fingers, and he's holding up three fingers, and he'll say, "For you, I'll answer three questions, three truths. You can ask me whatever you want. Hell, you can ask me what the lottery numbers will be next week. I'll answer them. Consider this the gift for what it is that you are and what it is that you represent. Three absolute truths."
Okay, let's start with that lottery number then.
He will list a consecutive numbers.
Okay, Abe will dutifully take these down. Okay, interesting. You're serious. Uh,
I
hmm.
tend to be.
What was I doing last Wednesday night?
What were you doing last Wednesday night?
Yes.
No, no,
Oh,
I'm asking,
that's
what
what
were
he'll
you?
say. Uh, he was probably studying at the church with his former mentor before that relationship like ended.
Needless to say, you were working on your Latin vowels. Unfortunately, for the record, it's pronounced Santagia, not Santagia, as you thought it was.
Huh. Okay.
One last universal truth. Don't waste it.
What's the meaning of life?
To live it.
He'll kind of shrug. He's very satisfied with that answer. I don't think it was wasted at all.
No, then that's a good answer.
So, what is this? This isn't a meeting by happenstance, is it?
No. You tend to find, when you've looked at it long enough, that there are no coincidences. The universe is made up of a seemingly infinite amount of chances and probabilities, but when you narrow it all down, you can almost say that there was such a thing as fate.
You mean the will of the one?
Hmm. That's an interesting concept. The will of the one, he who is Yahweh, the one above all. He is a complicated entity, but yes, for lack of a better word, we are all pieces in the divine plan, one way or the other.
And you seem. Are you implying that you have some capacity to discern or read this divine plan?
Hmm. He contemplates.
I mean, no judgment. This is a safe place. I mean, it's great if you can, because, yeah.
Maybe once a very long time ago.
Okay, that's fair.
Hmm. If it helps, I honestly believe that you are a good man.
I'll try to be. Um, but we all wrestle with our own demons, right?
Yes. Many demons you will find are of our own making, however. We wrestle with the illusions that we place ourselves in the chains, too.
I really hope that isn't prophecy. Please say that last bit was just an opinion because kind of ominous.
The figure stands up. He walks out into the rain. Trying to make me a perception alertness check, standard difficulty.
Sure. What's the difficulty you said?
Standard difficulty, so 6.
Div 6. Okay. Slash. Okay. I knew I was doing something wrong.
Where are you rolling?
The rolls.
Okay, we do have one of those.
Okay. I'm sorry. Number. Okay. No! God, I ruined it. Back up. Hold up. Abort.
You can do it. I have faith in you.
Yes. Nope, don't have 10. Sorry. What the fuck?
You are rusty. Take all the time you need.
What's this?
That's all you needed. As he steps out into the rain, you'll notice the raindrops don't touch him.
All right. Well, that's a nifty fucking trick you got. Oh, sorry. That's a nifty trick you have there, stranger.
I'm not really that strange. Or rather, to you I'm not. I suppose I'm strange to other people, but that's entirely their perspective, I suppose.
Abraham will step out to your rain as well.
The rain very much hits you, if it helps.
He'll put his hand out, watch the hands like kind of explode. Watch the rain explode against his palms. Look, a bunch of weird stuff has been happening lately, and I'm all about divine providence and stuff like that, but can you tell me what's going on?
He stops. He stops and he contemplates. You can see his hand touches. He brings his thumb and his forefinger up to just under his chin as he appears to be contemplating. Can I? Interesting. The answer is yes. However, in time, you'll discover the answer for yourself. And I don't believe that she would be entirely happy if we continue this conversation. He kind of makes a head gesture as in there's something very much behind you.
And he'll suddenly turn around very quickly.
You will see this woman standing behind you.
Ah! Oh, sorry. Hi. He'll extend his hand. Abraham, nice to meet you.
She doesn't appear to look at you as she says, "What do you want with him?" "I want nothing, merely to see with clarity and eyes unclouded." Of course you'd say something self-deluded like that. Be off with you. He is none of your concern. He is the last vestige of me, in a manner of speaking. I consider myself responsible. You are not responsible. Leave us. As you wish. By the time you turn back, the other figure with the green hair is already gone.
Oh. Oh. I did something stupid, didn't I?
You don't know who that is, do you?
No idea.
She looks at you. You almost get the distinct impression she's looking through you.
Yeah, he kind of cringes a little bit, like mostly for shame, because he feels like he's been fooled or duped in some fashion.
Her features soften when she sees the fact that you're not lying. I take it. It is agreeable. No, that's incorrect. She looks at you up and down. She actually walks around you in a circle.
You kind of just stand there awkwardly, like, oh boy, okay. Man up.
He was right, however. You are a good man, Abraham.
I try to be.
Once again, she used your name without, you telling her your name.
God. How'd you know my name?
I've known you since the moment you were born.
How would that be possible? Oh, I'm not going to want to know the answer, am I?
My name is Gabrielle. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, Gabrielle. You'll shake her hand.
And the person you were just talking to was complicated.
Like most of the things in my life.
Well, one never said that one should have an easy life.
Yeah, I agree. That would be boring, right?
Yes. Really important question. Do you have Prime Sight or anything like that active, or Spirit Sight?
Not active, but he does have Prime 2.
Are you a little bit tempted?
He is very tempted. But he's new. So like the only way he know how to use Prime is by like singing. But technically level 1, since he has an irritate, he shouldn't have to use an instrument, but I don't think he knows that yet.
It's instinctual. If you want to do it, it will turn on if you roll the Arete.
Okay, yeah, I'll be curious enough to do it. But kind of like just hum. Because he's a doofus.
I mean, it's fine.
Oh. L at life, fell at gaming. What's this?
All right. Hi, Fredno. How you doing?
Uh-oh. Oh no, she probably has a lot of quintessence, doesn't she?
No, as you activate Prime Sight, you see a glimpse of her true form.
Which is...
I'm going to put up a picture in like 20 seconds. Give me a moment.
Uh-oh. Oh God. Oh God. Hi, friend. How you doing?
What could possibly be on fire? Oh, wait. My eye sockets.
Oh God.
They're not on fire. It's fine. However, as your Prime Sight flashes on for a split second, because it only lasts for the round with one success, this is what she looks like.
I think he... So, like, he will immediately throw himself down to one knee.
Oh dear. Hadn't quite anticipated that. Please stand up.
Sorry, I don't even know. I don't even know what happened. I don't know. He'll stand up, but he won't look at her. Not in the face, at least.
But yes, it is very nice to meet you, Abraham. As I said, my name is Gabrielle, and I suppose if you've read the old stories, needless to say, they got the name wrong.
Holy shit. I mean, wow. Wow.
Do you now understand why it is I said that I've known you since you were born?
Yes, I'm sorry. I did not recognize you.
That's part of it.
Wow. I have so many questions. You're he kind of leans in like he can't say it out loud. He like mouths the word, you're an angel.
Yes. And the person you were just talking to is quite literally the devil.
Right.
Lucifer, the light bringer, he who was the closest to the one, etc.
Why would he want to talk to me exactly?
She holds out her hand to you and she says, "Take my hand and I'll show you."
He'll take a deep breath. His eyes will slowly creep up to meet hers, and somehow he'll muster enough strength from what he finds within her eyes to put his hands within hers.
It feels like for a split second you're falling, but then you're held by a very firm grip. As all around you the world melts and deteriorates to shadows and swirling vapor, until you find yourself high on what appears to be a rocky outcropping, surrounded by broken statuary. It almost looks as if you're in the ruins of an old church. You see a woman, bent and broken on her knees, sobbing, her long black hair cascading downwards. And you see a priest standing over her with a lance in her hand, a beautifully carved, ornate white lance that appears to be tipped with a radiant star. And you hear the priest say in a loud, booming voice, looking up to the heavens, "If you are truly a God of love and a God of compassion, then have some mercy for this woman. She does not deserve the punishment that the world has given her." And in that moment, he shatters this beautiful object, this object of divine power. And in that moment, you feel the eye of the universe, the attention of he who is drawn upon you from on high. The clouds will part and the sobbing will cease. And then, in the flash of an eye, you are standing right back where it is you will begin this little trek, right in front of a very innocuous bus station.
He will start to breathe heavy, trying to like calm his emotions from their experience. There's probably like tears running down his face, but you can't really tell because it's raining. You know, they're not tears of just being overwhelmed, like being a bit much. Tears of joy mostly. That was what. Is Gabrielle still there?
Mm-hmm. She's standing right in front of you.
What was what I felt? That was. I haven't felt like that since I was a child.
Hmm. Father Belmont was the priest you saw. He, through means, came to possess this lance of the Lightbringer, the spear that God gifted to Lucifer when God was as close to the Lightbringer as any could be, his gift. And Father Belmont sacrificed the spear to draw the attention of the Almighty, even briefly, to one place, as he sensed its destruction. In that moment, he called upon God to fix the broken, to heal the wounds that the Magi, the awakened, knew that they could not heal. And he did so. The world was diminished because the Lightbringer's lance can never be recreated, but a great wound was healed when God, the One, however you choose to call him, righted the inverted, I believe the term you use is avatar, of a woman named Catherine Templehoff, and in that moment quieted so much pain. But you may ask, why does this story have anything to do with you? And the answer is, your spark, that light that is within you, is the last of the energy, the last of the power that remained in the lance when it was shattered. And in that moment, when the lance was broken, you awoke.
What does that? What does that mean? I mean, does that mean that I share some? Is that why he was here?
Yes, because in essence, I will not say that he and you, he is a part of you, but something that beat within him like his own heart, the gift of God himself that was bestowed upon him. You possess the last of its light. Maybe there's some kind of sympathetic connection.
So I have, however tenuous, a sympathetic connection between my spark and Lucifer.
Yes.
Great.
She reaches into the fold of her coat because she's wearing the suit picture, and she simply withdraws a cookie.
He just kind of blinks and looks at the cookie, looks at her, and
And
looks
then
at the cookie.
that sugar helps.
He'll take it because he's like, this could be my last cookie. I could die in 5 seconds.
If it helps, that's a damn good freshly baked chocolate chip cookie right there.
He'll take it. He'll take a big bite out of it. Like fuck it. Life's for living, right?
Why is it you think that I mean you harm, Mr. Abraham?
I'm sorry.
You believe I mean you harm.
Is that not her voice anymore?
Yeah, no, that is. She's asking why do you
Oh.
think I mean you harm?
No. Not you. Not you. I'm just concerned about this connection between my spark and the Morning Star. That's not good. You know, people don't tend to end up leading long and healthy lives if they have an affiliation with, you know, that one dude.
He is not what you think he is, and yet he is. He is and was my brother at one point. There were only so many archangels, but
Is there still good in him?
I beg your pardon?
Is there still good in him?
That depends upon what you define as good, and if he ever truly lost the good in the first place. I cannot tell you why it is the fall occurred, but it was not because of malice, evil, or hate. Also, it's what you consider to be demons, entities from the pit, great darknesses that are summoned and make infernal pacts and trysts with magi. He is not one of them. He is bound to this place. He is bound to the temporal, bound to earth. But he is not the darkest of abyssal black that some of his co-conspirators in his plot became.
Good. Good.
I believe that he views you as a way of his own redemption.
He'll kind of nod his head to that. Okay. How about we not test that theory for a little bit yet?
This is agreeable. Needless to say, you have taken your first steps on a path, a journey, that will be unlike any other, because it is yours.
Is there any way to hide this light from your brother? Do you think?
She contemplates. She will reach into her pocket again, from the same one she withdrew the cookie. And she will hold out, when she brings it out, she will hold out a very, very black set of rosary beads. And she will hold them towards you and she will say, as long as you wear this, he will not be able to see you. Though that may be as much of a curse as it is a blessing, but then again, only time will tell.
Okay. He'll put on the beads. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's not that I don't trust your brother, obviously, but
Oh, I never said you should trust him.
you're smart. That's right. You mentioned he was complicated.
Inherently, we are all complicated.
What about you, Gabrielle? Can I trust you?
She contemplates that and she says, I am a servant of a path that I walk. You can always trust me to follow that path.
He'll smile, noting that she didn't quite answer that question directly.
Mysterious ways, bro. Mysterious ways.
I hear you. I hear you. But I'm sus as fuck.
Good. You'll live a longer, happier life.
You'll kind of nod his head at that. Right. We all do. We all have our own tasks to do. All part of the plan, right?
In the meantime, if you want more answers and if you want to truly understand the nature of the worlds that you now walk in, I can make arrangements for you to speak to someone who may be able to explain to you what I am incapable of explaining.
That will be good. I would like that very much.
She holds out a business card to you and she says, my son, his name is Siren.
Okay.
He lives in...
He'll take the card.
He lives in Dublin, in Ireland.
Jesus.
Was a rather charming lad. What's your point?
Oh, no, sorry. I meant Ireland is far away.
She will reach into her pocket and she will bring out airline tickets. Yeah, there you go.
He'll take those as well.
Economy class. Ooh.
If it's Virgin Airlines.
I'm so tempted for you to look at her and go, what, you couldn't spring for first class?
He's not gonna. No. So he believes in a savage Old Testament angels. He's not gonna.
What, the fire and brimstone and I'm gonna kill all your firstborns?
Yeah, until he learns otherwise. That's what he's going with here.
Valid. You will live a longer, happier life.
Oh God, my phone has been crazy. Sorry. Okay. You're gonna nod his head again. Thank you. I'll make arrangements immediately. To look at the tickets, I guess I'll be going tomorrow. Great.
I have no doubt that you'll be able to square away your entire life's affairs in less than 16 hours.
Oh, can I get a P&E on that? No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, you can. Like, I'll tell you right now, she has 2 as a subterfuge pool.
Oh. Man, I'm so nice, though. Why don't you like me? I kind of just smirk at that. All right. Is there anything else I should know before I go to your son, Siren, in Dublin?
Yes, I'd take approximately 1 step to the left if I were you.
He does it immediately.
As you do so, a truck will literally just drive by, and had you been standing there, you would have been sluiced in so much water. And by the time you look around, she's gone.
Oh. Okay, that was trust. In a matter of speaking, that was definitely trust. He would just sit there on the soppy, wet, bench and kind of think about his life. and what has went wrong before he'll reach into his coat pocket, get that lighter out, light a cigarette. All right. Okay.
As you look to the lighter, you'll notice the fact that the outer case of the lighter has changed ever so slightly.
Oh God, what do you mean?
As you flick it up into your hand to light a cigarette, you'll notice the fact that whereas before it was just an ordinary silver Zippo lighter, now there's a kind of an odd red gem in the center of it that almost feels like you could push it down.
Nope. He'll walk along the street, give it to a bum.
Okay.
No.
You will give it to a random homeless man who will thank you profusely. By the time you get back to your apartment, it's in your pocket again.
Fuck. Okay. Not
And
weird.
poor Jojo, the homeless man, is just gone without a lighter. You're a cunt.
I just think someone stole it. All right. So Abraham, he'll go home and he'll start getting his shit in order. He'll pack. He'll call his friends, say a relative died. He's going to the funeral. He'll be out of communications for a little bit, and leave as abruptly as possible, but tie up all the loose ends he can. Obviously, there's some I'm sure they won't be able to deal with. And then he will sleep all night in the airport. He's going to stay at his place.
Yeah, basically, you have a connecting flight, so it goes Seattle to New York, New York to Dublin.
Okay. That's what we'll do. And he's kind of fumbling with this lighter, like, what the? He'll look at that red button. He's really curious about the red button, but he don't have that flaw.
Do you want to press it?
He wants to press it, but he doesn't have that flaw. He wants to press it really bad. So he does. Because what's the worst thing that can happen?
Do you actually press the button?
He does.
Nothing happens.
Okay. He kind of looks around very suspiciously.
Are you also wearing the rosary beads when you press it?
Yes.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
All right, so approximately 21 hours later, because by God, there was that fucking 4-hour layover and the fucking 2-hour flight delay. Fuck's sake.
And the kid that was kicking the back of the chair the whole time.
Literally, goddamn it, Denver Air Traffic Control, get your shit together. Anyway.
Get your shit together.
But, yeah, you'll eventually arrive in Dublin. You will see as you enter, and basically, jet-lagged, weary, teetering on your feet, kind of like very, very tired. As you walk down the line of people who have names of people on their little signboards to like collect them, you see this gentleman with a sign that says Abraham.
Yeah. Okay. He approaches him, but he knows that this could be a misunderstanding. He's like, "This cannot be the person." He's like, "Hey, I'm Abraham. Are you Siren?"
No, sir, I'm not Siren. My name is Shmuel. It's a pleasure to meet you. He extends a hand.
Nice to meet you as well. He'll shake his hand.
Do
you live in Ireland? Do you live in Dublin here?
Yes, I do. I was led to understand by a mutual friend of ours that you were coming and that you might need a place to stay for a couple of nights.
Yes, that's me. I am the person. Yes. Yeah, that's great. Let me just get my bags.
Wonderful. You take your time. I'll wait here. The car is out front. We go. We'll have a bite to eat, and then we'll get you somewhere to sleep.
Oh, that sounds divine. He'll kind of smile and he'll kind of jog off to the baggage claim.
If you'd like to make me an intelligence mage lore check, you can.
Sure.
Because he is also celestial, of course, it'll be difficulty 5.
Right. No, fail again. Why do
Good
I
lord.
fail at life?
I don't know. Why does life hate you? So yeah, you've never heard of this Shmuel guy. It's fine. He's not important.
Not important, right?
But yeah, he will bring you outside. You sit into one of those nice town cars. So not really one that maybe is worth a fortune. You know, maybe some kind of low end Bentley, but it's still a nice car.
Nice.
And he'll say, "So, did you have a pleasant flight?"
I did. I did. Well, yeah, it was okay. I got here. I'm alive. Everyone's safe. Man, those air traffic controllers in Denver need to get their shit together, though.
I wouldn't
Come
know,
on.
but then again, that is a reasonable assessment. Needless to say, I'm led to understand that you're here to speak to Mr. Siren.
I am. I am. He was hopefully going to help me understand some things.
Hmm. He is somewhat of an expert when it comes to, shall we say, more complicated and esoteric matters of hmm, delineation.
He'll kind of smile and he'll like put his finger on his nose, like "you're dead on the money" kind of gesture.
Hmm.
Esoteric. Yep.
He is also the High Librarian of Dublin, for the record.
Well, there's about 3 dead languages I'll probably need to master within the next 3 weeks. So
Hmm. Well, needless to say, if you ever want to learn ancient Hebrew, I got you covered.
that's one.
There you go. So, I'm curious, if you don't mind my asking, what is it that you've come looking for in Dublin?
Well,
Obviously, you're here to speak to Mr. Siren, but what is it that you're looking for?
I'm looking for. It's hard to really explain. I'm looking for my truth in a matter of speaking. Um,
Then that's a really, honestly, you might think that that seems like a complicated answer, but in the end, we're all looking for truth. So it's actually rather simple.
I know it's like when it's easy to give advice to a friend, but it's hard to give advice to yourself. I think that's the situation I am. If this was someone else, I could probably guide them through it, but I just can't see the forest for the trees. You know what I mean?
I understand this perspective. Hmm.
Yeah,
You
yeah. But um, I've seen some stuff recently, and um, I've heard that Siren Guy is the most knowledgeable and informed person this side of the Mason Dixon. So here to see him.
Well, Mr. Siren's father is Archbishop de Calvornay. Hmm. For the record, you won't even need to roll. De Calvornay is the current seat of Prime.
Wow.
Hmm.
And his mother.
The answer to that is that you already know.
He'll smile.
So he is a rather complicated individual, but hmm, he is the teacher type, much like myself. So we're the ones who don't mind when people come to ask us questions.
I have a lot of stupid questions. I might make you regret that.
I I fully accepted my life choices when I decided to go to rabbinical school. My mother said, "Shmuel, you should have been an accountant," but I said, "No, no, I want to help people." And then this is where we got ourselves.
Small, you should have been an accountant.
The car will eventually pull up to the house of Rabbi Shmuel. That's a rather traditional kind of upper class Dublin residence. So it's a kind of I would describe it to you in a New York term as it's like a 3-story walk up.
Okay. Okay.
Um, he'll park the car. and he will welcome you inside. It is, as I said, it's rather pleasant. Um, you will meet his wife, and you will meet his wife is a rather charming woman who appears to be like him in kind of her late 50s, early 60s. Her name is Ashira Shmoo. Shmoo. You will be given what I will describe as a very hearty meal. They are apparently they're obviously Jewish. They're apparently from Eastern European Jewish stock, so they will give
Hmm,
you a very nice brisket and a goulash. It's delicious.
yeah,
It's good. It's good nosh,
nice.
and you will be given the spare room
Yeah,
and be
he is the
allowed.
most. He is the most probably the one of the most um, interesting. Well, he's the dinner guest that always is asking questions. So he will like ask them about themselves, how they met, when they met, if they have children. He's just trying to get like all these stories out of them the whole time.
If you were the ultimate dinner guest conversation, or if you're the ultimate talker, or if you were the ultimate questioner, Rabbi Shmuel is the ultimate talker. Literally, give
Okay.
him the opportunity, he will talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
So we probably have a long, great dinner then,
Mm,
because
mm.
this kind of allows him to escape from the reality of the situation a little bit. Allows him to like think of someone else's like stories, problems, struggles, stuff like that, and forget about his own.
So you will sleep. You will sleep the Odin sleep because fuck me, jet lag is a thing.
Yeah, that's true. It's very fucking true.
And when you wake up the next day, you'll wake up the next day probably about the noonish point. 'Cause, yeah, you probably went to bed at about 10, so you're probably gonna wake up at about noon, having endured all of the jet lag. Your body is definitely sleep deprived, so we will go with that. You will make your way downstairs, and as you enter into the drawing room, give me just a moment. I have to find the picture. Where's he gone? It's always great when my fucking there he is. It's always great when my fucking pictures elude me.
Don't you love that?
You will see this young man sitting in an armchair sipping tea.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know anyone was in here.
No, I don't suppose you would, but I'm led to understand you were looking to see me.
He'll kind of walk into the room deeper and extend his hand. Abraham, are you Siren?
Hmm. He will
Right.
offer. What is Abraham's strength?
I think it was three. Where's my character sheet? Where to go? Where to go? Oh, there it is. Oh, it's a big sheet. Two strength.
Okay. Do you squeeze his hand when you shake, or do you just like very gently do it?
It's not. He's not like trying to like go alpha on him, but he'll give him a strong handshake. Yeah.
He will wince in very visible pain, and you feel the
Oh,
fact that he is literally his hand is incredibly limp.
oh, sorry.
It's quite alright.
I wasn't
Yes.
trying to. Sorry.
As you look at him, you'll see the fact that his eyes are sunken, and he's very attractive. He has an appearance of five with a speck in angelic, ironically.
Oh,
But he is very sunken, and he looks very ill, if that makes sense. There's something about him that seems to be very off, if that makes sense.
okay.
Won't you please join me? I'm led to understand that you have questions.
So many questions. Um, he'll sit and kind of perch himself at the edge of one of the chairs. So, I think you know what I am. Um, I'm kind of disturbed. Um, your um, your mom I guess, was nice enough to give me a little gift. Um, and he'll show the rosary that he has. He has it like wrapped around his arm. Apparently, I have a piece of Lucifer's lance, at least a piece of that energy that is allowing me to be this divine. Well, allowing me to do magic, basically. I guess technically, I don't know.
Yes, and that is what I'm led to understand.
Just trying to get my bearings. I don't understand any of it. It seems scary. I don't know who I could trust, and I want to do some good. Right? I want to help people because this world is pretty shitty. At least while I can.
For the record, the most important thing I can tell you is just because you perceive something as being negative or you perceive something as being evil, does not necessarily mean that either of these situations are in fact the truth or the case. So just because you feel as though the genesis of this power came from darkness does not mean that the power itself need be used for darkness.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. Um, I think it's might be somewhat understandable that uh, my fear has caused me to be a little bit of trepidation as it's concerned with this new power I've acquired. But you're right. You're right. I'm not thinking about this logically. Of course, your words are exactly true.
Siren holds up his teacup, and as he brings his hand down, he holds it up in the air, and as he brings his hand down, the teacup stays perfectly balanced in midair. And he'll say,
What
because
the?
I have the ability to do this. And he crushes, he balls his hand into a fist. And as he does so, the teacup in midair shatters into 1,000 pieces, like very melodramatically shatters. But it doesn't shatter outwards, it kind of shatters inwards, if that makes sense, like
Okay.
it's being
Yeah.
crushed with outside force.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because I have the ability to do this, does not mean that I also do not have the ability to do this. And as he opens his palm, he does so with a flourish, and the teacup remakes itself and fuses back together.
Pretty
Ultimately,
cool.
it is conscious choice. If you wish to be good, you will be good. If you wish to be evil, you will be evil. True, true free will is our gift.
Isn't there? Well, at least in the stories that I've read, um, often there's detractors to that free will. People who have a vested interest in things not going so well.
Yes,
Is that
but
is that a thing?
ultimately, yes. However, they can only influence you if you allow yourself to be influenced. I can, for example, tell you to take a knife and murder someone. However, it is your conscious choice to do so. If you choose to murder, then that is indeed up to you. If you do not, once again, the decision is yours.
Hmm.
But yes, there are individuals who would see this world racked with chaos, death, and destruction because it is that it serves their purpose. They are not very pleasant individuals, as I'm sure you understand.
Yes. This speaks to the harmony that I've been talked about. I can't build harmony from a place of chaos.
Or rather, could you not build harmony unless there was chaos?
Hmm.
After all, order must come from somewhere. There cannot be light without darkness. There cannot be darkness without light. One must always contrast the other.
Quite so. Hmm. Just again, very true. Like my mind is, it's kind of sluggish. It's almost like it's sleeping. But you're right. I've I'm drawing the wrong parallels. I'm opposite of harmony wouldn't be chaos, it would be discord, right?
Correct. You should meet my apprentice, Miss Lottie. Her avatar takes the form of Eris, the goddess of chaos and discord.
Your apprentice?
Hmm.
Is that what someone who teaches? Well, obviously, it's what someone. What else would you call someone you're teaching? I would be happy to meet her. I'm sorry. This is all just getting a little bit weird to take in. But I will. I will stop being awkward in a bit, I promise.
For example, I am a member of the Cult of Ecstasy, despite the fact everyone thinking I'm a celestial chorister, which is its own interesting point.
A Cult of Ecstasy. That sounds absolutely East Mouse. Debaucherous. Not that that's a bad thing.
In a manner of speaking, I believe in the illusion of the world and the fact that we must transcend the illusion.
You believe that all the world is an illusion?
At least much of the metaphysical groundwork of it, yes.
It's very interesting. Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Have you ever seen The Devil?
Personally, no.
Okay. I have, and I wish he was an illusion.
He is complicated.
You're not the first person I've heard to say that.
You have to understand, Azazel, Belial, the other names of corrupted chaos, they're not his name for a reason. They are all locked in the pit, a metaphysical place wherein they were cast after the fall, that have twisted and turned them into monsters. The Lightbringer is different. He stands apart.
Oh.
That is not to say he is not evil or that he did not turn his back on God, but once again, there are never really any. There are never certainties, only opinions.
Sure. And like you said, he's complicated. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Simon. I met your mother. She seemed really nice. Smoosh told me about your father.
What is it that you'd like to know?
I don't want to pry. Anything that you'll like to tell me. If you don't want to tell me the thing that I asked, you don't have to feel like you're under no obligation for me being a guest. But what about this cult that you mentioned, this Cult of Ecstasy, you said?
Yes, it's one of the 9 mystical traditions, along with the Celestial Chorus, the Order of Hermes, Virtual Adepts, and others.
So these are all societies, mystic traditions.
Yes.
Do you know how long these traditions go back?
They were officially brought together at some point in, I believe, the 15th century. However, many of them stretch back into antiquity. The Verbena, for example, take their practices from the Druidic, nature harmonistic people such as the Celts, who, as you know, go back a very long way. Other more modern ones, such as the Society of Ether, contemplates. Have you seen Back to the Future?
I do. I have seen that movie a long time ago, though.
Doc Brown does magic. They were founded in the 1850s.
This is a bit much. When I first stumbled upon this, I thought I'd have found the singular reason behind everything. It felt like I figured everything out, but now it's just open the door to a room wherein exists a bunch of questions.
I tend to find that when it comes to questions, oftentimes it's the pursuit of answers that is the true spice of life. After all, if we were to know the reason, the methods, and the mannerism for everything, then what would the value of curiosity be?
You're smarter than me, Siren.
Hmm. No, I just have a lot more life experience. Which is odd for the record. Siren probably looks younger than you do.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, this works. Okay. If you say so.
He raises an eyebrow. For clarity's purposes, I was born in the year 1882.
Oh. Well, you age well.
When you're a master of time magic, it tends to be rather easy.
Oh, time. Yeah. So, what can you tell me about the city, Dublin? Your mom recommended I come here and speak with you. She said you maybe will be able to help me with some answers, but I was thinking maybe there was some kind of significance to this particular area of the world. Is there anything?
This area of the world is complicated. It is bound and swirls with old magic and old truths. As to why you were brought here, why my mother suggested you were to come here, well, I would think it's because you wish to do good, and there is a great
Yes,
potential to do good within this city.
yes, definitely, definitely. Um, is there any do-gooding that I can be doing now?
As a matter of fact, the rabbi is currently launching a new project in order to basically help deal with a number of underprivileged children, street runaways, etc., who have been failed via the social services here. If you wish to pitch in, etc., that would be an excellent place, I think, for you to start. After all, not all problems need to be solved with magic, one simple kindness can do.
Yes, I agree, and it will give me something to take my mind off of all this. I would definitely like to help someone.
In that case, he'll stand up and he'll say, I've spoken to Rabbi Shmuel, and we have agreed that we've agreed that you will stay here for the time being. Maybe if you wish to find something more permanent in the future, we can arrange that. Is that
Definitely.
suitable?
That is more than I could ever hope for. Thank you so much, Siren.
It's quite all right. He smiles. As I said, I think you're a good man, Abraham. For the record, he's also the third person to have said that.
God damn it! He like, is it on my forehead or what the fuck?
And as Siren leaves, if that is all right, we will bring our scene to a close. So,
Perfect.
thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another Scene in Darkness in Dublin. Have a pleasant evening.